All right, testing, testing. Can you all hear me? Ladies, testing, testing. Can you hear me? Okay, good morning. Great, 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 great. All right, ladies, I want to talk about finances again. I want to talk about car insurance and utilities, how you can save. And I'm going to show you so you don't think that, what's that word, capping. So there's no capping here. Okay, number one, I want to first ask you, don't answer this in the comment section. I'm just asking for you for the answer in your head. Number one, do you have a credit card? Number two, if you don't have a credit card, do you know what your credit score is? Do you have Credit Karma or Credit Sesame? If you don't have a credit card, I would like to encourage you to download the app Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, and monitor your credit scores as well as your finances. Now, insurance, how you can save on insurance with your credit card. Instead of paying monthly, get a credit card that has enough of a credit limit that will allow you to charge your credit card, charge your insurance bill, whether you pay every 6 months or once a year. Because some car insurance will charge you every 6 months. Some will let you pay up, for the whole 12 months. Whichever one is that you have. Pay your entire insurance bill. You're going to make monthly payments back to your credit card. You also want to have a credit card that has perks. You don't just want to have any old credit card. That's why you want to study. Look at Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, even with your bank, the credit cards that your bank offers. You want to get the credit cards that has the best perk for you and your life and your living situation so that you can begin to preserve your money and learn to diversify. Anytime you pay your car insurance, the entire bill, it saves you on a fraction of the bill. Not only that, that's one less bill you have to worry about coming out of pocket with cash. Utilities, light bill. Everybody's going to have a light bill. Some people have water bills, some people don't. But let's say light bill, water bill, cable, internet, phone bill. If you have a credit card, why are you not paying it on your credit cards? Credit cards are not bad. It's people that are undisciplined that get credit cards and don't know how to manage and budget. That's what makes it bad. You want to do the same thing with your cell phone bill. If you have a house phone, you want to do the same thing with your internet, your cable bill. You want to do the same thing with your water bill. Why? Because especially if you have a credit card that gives you cash rewards, it's going to give you money for paying your bill, but you're also going to be saving money off of car insurance for paying it paying the whole amount at one time. The money that you would spend paying your, let's say light bill, let's say your light bill is $150. Let's say you charge your car insurance for the 6 months or the year. You charge your car insurance, your cable bill, your cell phone bill, any other utility, miscellaneous. You charge it all to that credit card. Then you get the bill. Let's say you owe, $1,200 and your minimum payment is $70. Well, if your phone bill is $100, why not take that $100 phone bill and use it as a payment? Everybody may not be able to pay that whole $1,000 or $1,200 that they actually charge. If you can, that's going to be better. That's going to be much more suffice for your life because it's going to add on more cash rewards on your credit card and it's going to reflect in your credit scores. So you're going to, sometimes being a part of the credit system is life. Everybody is not tapped into the same, system that respectfully saying like Dave Ramsey is into. He shuns credit cards. He shuns, people using credit. He wants you to use your money. But sometimes you have to work up to that. If that makes some sense, if it helps, if it resonates, let me see you all drop some hearts, like the video. That's on car insurance and utilities. Now I want to take some time and break down how to save with your light bill and how to save if you have a water bill. If you have a light bill and water bill, let's say you have a credit card that has a credit limit of $10,000. You want to take your utility bill. Let's say you get a utility bill. Your utility bill is $80. You want to take that and pay that times 3. You want to pay $80 3 times at one time. What's 80 times 3? $240. So instead of paying that $80 light bill, you want to pay $240. Why? Because it's going to give you a credit. I pay a light bill every 3 months. There's my light bill. There's my credit. I pay my light bill quarterly because I don't have a bill every month because I pay it ahead. Now, you know, things fluctuate. It may be cooler, so you may have to use more air conditioning. It may be hotter, so you may have to use more heat. So it may fluctuate. But still, if you do that, I promise you, you will always have a credit on your light bill. And then that way it's out of the way. Then you want to look at you want to keep your credit card statement. You want to keep it itemized so you will know what you're charging and why you're charging it and why and how to take your cash money and focus on your utilities, car insurance, because those things are paid. So you don't want to, if you can, you want to avoid making the minimum payment, and you want to, if you can pay it all off, that's amazing. But if you can't, you just want to pay double. So let's say you charge $500, simple number. Let's say you charge $500, but you only had $200, which was $100 for your cell phone bill, $100 for your water bill or light bill, but you charge $500, and that covered your insurance, your utilities, and whatever little miscellaneous. So you're gonna take that $200 and apply it to that $500 balance. You get what I'm saying? Now you have to factor in interest. So I hope I'm not moving too fast. You have to factor in interest and how it fluctuates. I want you to learn how to use your credit to save money and to make money and diversify your money. Because once you begin to pay ahead, you're going to see money cycling back to you, especially with your credit card that gives you the perks of earning cash. Your rewards, it could be some credit cards will give you cash back, and when you want to retrieve the funds, it'll go straight into an account. Other cards, it may be you can get it in the you can get the cash back on a Visa card. You want to learn to use your credit and your finances together. If that makes sense, drop some hearts, like the video. If anybody has any question, drop it in the comment section. Credit cards are not bad. Credit cards are a necessary part of life when you're in that zone. People that don't have to have credit card, they have triple the amount of money, not just double, probably quadruple. And those are likely not just millionaires, but multimillionaires. But I know millionaires and multimillionaires that still operate on the credit system. Okay, good. So I've shown you that. Ladies, also I've shown you the part how you can save on your credit cards with car insurance, utility bills, water bill, all utility bills covers everything. So that's how you want to use your credit. But just remember, let's say you saying to yourself, well, I don't have good credit. You know, that's not going to work for me. Okay, so why do you not have the Credit Karma or Credit Sesame app? They're free to look at your credit, to see where you are, so you can know how to work to get to where you need to be and want to be. It's a progress. All of us have either had low credit or bad credit. Some of us have had both. So don't let a person that has good credit, great credit, excellent credit, discourage you or make you feel like, wow, she has it going on. I hope to be there one day. No, you're going to get there. And this is your start right here. Okay, good. If you finally fix your credit and you want to get a car loan, you need to know that there is no such thing as a down payment. If you can, work with your bank on financing a car. If you possibly have the cash in your bank with that you can finance your own car, you want to do a secure loan with your money and you're going to pay yourself back. You're going to get the title to your car. You're going to get a title to your vehicle. So the car is basically paid for. But that loan, that money you borrowed, you want to borrow money against money you already have in your account if you have enough money to do that. If you don't have enough money to finance your own vehicle, then you just want to make sure that you don't get in that loop of a down payment. There's no such thing. If a bank if a bank approves you for $15,000, you need to find a car realistically for about $13,000 or $11,000. And I'm just using those numbers to throw out there because you have to factor in, insurance, sales, taxes, tags, and all of that. So you need to factor those things in. But the thing is, ladies, is, even if you go through a dealership, I would recommend you going through a dealership more than a car lot. When you have to go through a car lot, it's because you have, exhausted your credit. It's really, it's bad and it's not going to get approved and you desperately need a car. That's when you want to take that desperate measure. So that's when you have to take what we call a lick in life. And a lot of us have been there. We've been there and done that. So if that's the season that you're in, don't frown upon yourself. You're just going to strategize to work to get out of it. So if you're going to be purchasing vehicles, you do not take your tax money and buy a car unless you're going to buy that car out cash, or unless you're going to use that cash to finance your own vehicle at your bank, credit union, whatever financial facility that you use. But if you're going to take any type of money and put down on a car, I'm telling you, that money is going into the salesperson's pocket and the finances guy's pocket. They split the down payment. All they do is restructure your car loan, your finance fees, interest rate, as well as the amount of the car to negotiate and justify them having a down payment put down, which, is like a bonus to them. So I just want to help you all with that. Ladies, in closing, I want to say something about children and car insurance. If you are a mom and you have a child or children that's driving, I'm really speaking about young adults, because when your child is a teenager, you have to cover them on your car insurance. But if you can, I want you to budget. Two things I want you to look into your insurance with. So when you get off I was going to say get off the phone. When we hang up here, if you don't have the app for your insurance company, I want you to download the app if they have an app. Look into it. Please, ladies, try to have or keep car insurance with a reputable company. If you can, research the insurance companies that are in the top 5. And the reason why they're likely in the top 5 is because they take care of their customers, especially if you have rapport with them and good rapport history. But if you have a young adult child and he or she is in their 20s, you want to keep that child on your insurance. People say 25, but if you can, you want to keep them on there until about 30. Why? Because it gives your child time enough to become budget friendly to their life and their living. So when you cut the ties with them, that they're able to manage their bills, and you could have taught them how to not just get the basic insurance policy. Ladies, we need to carry insurance of 6 digits. At the basis, $100,000 worth of coverage. It may cost a little bit more depending on the car, the make, your driving record, but you got to be responsible. This type of thing is for responsible adults. But that's why you want to keep your child, your young adult child, on your car insurance, because you need for them to have that extra luxury coverage. It's offered. You probably just don't ask about it. You probably don't ask about it because you didn't know about it. You probably were told about the basic car insurance because that's what most people get. And people don't prepare. They're not prepared for accidents. Getting in a car accident, a person not having insurance, having underinsurance, everything is different from state to state. But you got to educate yourself about the state that you reside in and the insurance that could be offered to you. And you want to go not just double, but triple more. Your young adults, you want to help them so that this is how we even break generational curses. Because most of us, our parents only had the basic insurance, right? Because it's only what they could afford. A lot of them didn't know about credit cards, and a lot of them didn't know how to structure credit card payments and charging. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to give our children something that we have learned, that we've discovered, or that we have been taught. We want to give them a fair chance at not just being ahead in life, but being in comfort. Okay? So I want you to look into your car insurance. I want you to see what kind of car insurance you have. Look at your bundle. See if you can afford that extra $20. And you can change how you get your nails, change how you get your hair done. If you don't already do those things yourself, change how much you eat out. Change, modify something in your spending to have that extra coverage on your cars, on your vehicle, and so that your young adults can benefit. And again, 25 is good, but 30 would be a little better. And you want to carry at least $100,000 worth of coverage on you and your child. Also, bodily injury. Also, medical bills. All that'll be factored in your bundle. So I just want to give that information so that you all can go out and study and see who you're with. Also, you want to shop around. When you shop around for car insurance, you want to find the right person, the right provider that provides not only what you need, but what you want. And you don't want to hop around from car insurance to car insurance. Some people do it to get a different price, but you want to stick with a car. You want to stick with your car insurance. Why? Because you want to create good history with them. And when you're paying with a credit card and you're paying, the premium 6 months, you're paying that 6 months up one time, or if it's a year one time, they're going to notice that. Okay? And it's going to put you into a certain category of drivers, insured drivers. So if that helped anybody, made any sense, drop some hearts. This is how you can save with your utilities. There are people putting comments in the comment section about credit. Thank you so much for that, to help us understand credit. If you don't have credit cards, you need to have Credit Karma, Credit Sesame. You need to be in control of your life. You need to manage your life. Bills are a factor of life, and you got to factor it in accordingly. It's going to be there. They're not going to go anywhere. And these are things that we may not be able to ever pay off. Car insurance, light bill, water bill, cable bill, internet bill, cell phone bills, but we can pay them up, and we can have credits. Even with your cell phone bills, you can have a credit. You can not only have to just have it where it's automatically drafted out, but if you have extra on your credit card, you want to charge it up. And you don't want to pay the minimum on your credit card. You want to try to pay as much off as you can that you charge. You see that 134.01 in the negative, but it's green. So that is a credit that I have on my light bill. I'm not telling you anything that I don't do, and I've been doing this for about 21 years, since I was living in the projects. So ladies, I hope that this has been helpful. Beneficial not only to your life, but if you have a child, if you have bonus children, you want to have those conversations with your partner. If you're married, you want to see who, okay, honey, how are we going to carry the child, the children? Children become negligent, irresponsible. You want to cut their ass loose and let them feel it for about a year. Let them tighten up, because them high bills will tighten their ass up. Because they have to appreciate, what you're doing. Also, oh, let me say this right here. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me clarify this with young adult children. When you carry young adult children on your car insurance, it's because they're employed or going to school. But if they're, whether they're employed or going to school, because even going to school, people get stipends back, people get refunds. But when you're employed, your child is paying that insurance. They can pay you monthly, and you use that monthly payment towards the car insurance or the credit card bill. So you're still getting a double whammy. You're not just covering your child or your children and they're not being responsible. You're teaching them responsibility, but giving them a luxury so they can be much more prepared than what you were, and be in not just getting ahead, but be in comfort. So you don't want to just, say, okay, I'm covering your car insurance, just go out there and drive. Hell no. You got to go to work. You go to work, and I expect my money. And you got to treat them just like the car insurance treats you. Cut their ass off. Disciplined parents will rear disciplined children. We all get a little out of pocket here and there, but we want to teach our children to appreciate the value system that we are creating and managing for them, okay? So even in that, when your young adult child is covered on your insurance for that extended time, and it's more so for the coverage, because when they're out in their 20s, that insurance is so expensive, and they do need help. They going to work. If they, you know what your child makes, you know what your child or your children are doing, so you want to sit down and budget that with them accordingly. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna leave this there. I hope it's been helpful. I love you all. And ladies, we are gonna be doing a reading. I decided after last night's reading on TikTok, I'm gonna start. I'm going to at least do it today to see what comes out. We're going to look at exes, what exes do behind your back, that maybe could offset your life, hurt you, sucker punch you, so that you can be in the known. So, because exes stay in these energies and these readings so much. So it's something that some people need to know so that we can get genuine answers, so that we can make realistic choices to better our lives, okay? Okay, and with that being said, I love you all, ladies. I hope this has been helpful. If you know something about credit, finances, utilities that could help a person out, put it in the comment section. Wait until the video uploads. I would encourage you to work with us, to network with us. We women over here, we do a lot in life, and we want to see our sister, no matter her race, no matter her age, no matter her ethnicity, we want to see her win in life. We are a winning team, and that's just who we are, period. There's no need for competition. Okay? There's no need for competition. We can compare where we are, where we have been, because of where we know that we want to be and deserve to be. That's it. Peace and blessings. Great day. Happy Sunday, ladies. Namaste.